Hey everyone, this is Jackie Cooper with the Blockchain Legal Institute and my special guest. I'll have her introduce herself. Go right ahead.
Hello, everyone. Katrina Pelton Smith, CEO and founder of the Business of Charity.
So this Friday, it actually went a little bit smoother, but I do have to share with you that my dog is sitting next to me and she's having me pet her. So she might actually join our conversation. If she does, if she hops on, that's fine. So Katrina, how was your week?
The week was good. I was hoping it was going to slow down, right at the end of December. It
Mhm.
never did. So thank you all out there. You all are keeping us busy. That's an amazing thing. It just means I need to regroup and do my schedule a little bit differently. So, how about you?
It was really productive and great. And, I felt like, and I feel like she is about to jump on. I feel as if I was more organized this year than last. And I don't know the reason why I felt that. I know that I posted over the weekend one of the editions for my blog called the Happiness News Factor, which is all about mind, body, and spirit, because I know that in order for me to keep going, I always have to figure out how do I balance everything. And
Absolutely.
sometimes it doesn't. So, again, but one of the goals that we all have is exercise.
Yeah.
And was really proud of myself this year. I started off with finding a YouTube video that allowed me to do 15 minutes. I hate floor exercises, absolutely hate them. But this was just using weights and for the upper body and
Okay.
just it was simple but
Mhm.
consistent, and I've been consistent doing it every day. So
Oh,
I'm
excellent.
really proud of myself
Yeah.
for 15 minutes of, and even at my, many people know that I'm currently teaching, even though it will be my last year. But even at my at my elementary school during my lunch break, I have a 30-minute lunch break, and I thought, okay, let me find a comfortable video that I can use for
Mhm.
15 minutes during that. And I used water bottles.
Okay.
And I was able to do something, again, no floor, because I don't want to do that, especially not on a school floor. Um,
Right.
but I was able to do that too. And so it was like, wow, okay, let me keep this up.
There you go. Great
Yeah,
way to incorporate that into your day.
yeah,
So, yeah,
yeah.
'cause that's usually what the struggle is trying to get everything in. So,
Yeah, for
that's
sure. I
actually
mean,
nice.
but it does help, with the mindset. And both of us are entrepreneurs and
Mm,
running all the time.
mhm.
I know with the Blockchain Legal Institute, there's been a lot of really constructive planning. For those that don't know about the Blockchain Legal Institute, definitely hop over to www.bli.tools,
Mhm.
because I actually updated one of the verticals in there. And so we are offering continuing legal education classes, continuing edu classes, and professional development classes for adult learners, whether you're in college or a professional. And
Okay.
there are going to be a lot of other webinars and updates coming to our platform that I'm super excited to be able to announce. And I know Patrina, you and
Mhm.
I have done a number of webinars last year.
Yes. Mhm.
And in fact, one of the webinars that we did, and I'll just show the book that we kind of co-wrote together, was how to fundraise using, you know, digital assets for your
Mhm.
nonprofit, and also integrating artificial intelligence and the
Mhm.
AI tools. And I know that a lot of nonprofits that you work with are just they're just learning how to navigate that. They
Exactly.
and both how to accept it, as
Mhm.
well as how to open up wallets and just how to answer questions. And I
Mhm.
know that's one of the areas that you're advising on. So
It
what's
is.
the your, the results of some of the things that we've talked about and the clients that you've kind of are working with? How have they been doing this?
Actually, they've been doing really well with it because it allows them to be able to use it for creating fundraising letters. So they can type in a prompt, it gives them back a letter, and then they were able to use that at the end of the year for the end of year giving process. I was really happy to hear that feedback from them, because it has been slow adoption in getting them to understand that it is not evil. It is obviously just a tool, so another resource out there in their arsenal. So I'm always thrilled when a client gives me feedback and says, you know what, we used it, it was great, and we can see future use with it. So that's been really the feedback I've been getting from clients.
That's great. So I know that you're going to be teaching more of these webinars,
Yes.
and they will be posted on the Blockchain Legal Institute. So for those that are interested, definitely hop on over there, check out the pages.
Yes.
We'll be creating a master calendar, but also if you're interested in getting the fundraising book, How to Fundraise Using Digital Assets, that Patrina and I wrote, it's on Amazon, and you're welcome to, hop over there to get it.
Absolutely.
And if you have any problems finding it, just email me at jc@bli.tools and I'll send you the link. I know that, for those that are hopping on now,
Mhm.
we're going to be doing only 15 minutes of these little live bites. So each week is going to be a different topic. Before we kind of get over to the topic of today, I do want to kind of talk about the narwhal who's behind me. We are doing, the Blockchain Legal Institute actually is doing 3 major events this year. 2 of them are virtual. They're the global summit is going to be March 21st and also in October. And if you again go over to bli.tools, you'll see our first event, which was held last October, where the Premier Bermuda was our keynote speaker. So this March, we are going to be hosting a similar type of format at an earlier time to accommodate Europe and Australia and India and other countries that had requested a time switch. So at that event, we're going to have a keynote that is in the process of being confirmed. So I'll be able to announce that shortly.
Mhm.
And a host of great speakers on 3 different panels dealing with real world assets in blockchain, DeFi, economic zones, and banks in blockchain, as well as compliance and legal issues.
Mhm.
So, and supply chain. So, I see someone hopping on. We have, let me add to the guest. All right. So we have Michael, who is actually one of our partners from the EU, and his expertise is artificial intelligence, EU, and the policies and everything else going on there. Michael, welcome to the live stream. How are you doing today?
Hey, JC, thanks for having me. Happy Friday, Happy New Year, and all is well. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. So for those that don't know who's on this live stream, who do not know anything about your background and expertise, can you share with them, first of all, and everyone, if you kind of don't know how the Blockchain Legal Institute works, there is a member portal and you can kind of see all of our partners. But Michael and AI Partners is one of our major players in the AI space. So Michael, why don't you go ahead and say your website so people can check you out and reach out to you if they need advice and counsel.
Sure. So just a bit of background. We focus on the EU AI Act, which is the world's first regulation or comprehensive regulation on AI, similar to GDPR. Affects anyone, any business using, developing, or deploying an AI system in the EU. I know that's probably a mouthful, but effectively it means using an AI-enabled chatbot or ChatGPT or a sophisticated algorithm for investment trading purposes, then yeah, you would have to comply with it. The company has been going since January 2021. The idea and company was built by my business partner, Sean, who, he's being an ex-tech accountant and did a lot of implementation work for GDPR. We've been working on this together. And yeah, the market has been very receptive. And to work with people like you, Jackie, and the BLI has been an absolute honor. And I think 2024 is poised to be a very exciting year.
It will be. And in addition to Patrina, for those that are listening or watching, depending upon how you're hearing this, Michael is also going to be teaching a class dealing with AI and in partnership with me in business law. So, this is something that is extremely critical for everyone in the C-suite to know about, because you might be thinking about doing something, or some of your staff might need to know. And so this is something that you definitely reach back out to us so we can tell you when it's going to be happening. Michael, one of our topics today, and when you popped in, I was thinking, oh, this would be an interesting little twist on this. Patrina and I were going to actually talk about, how in the new year, we all need to think about having a will or updating it.
Absolutely.
And so I'm curious, has AI kind of taken over the will drafting side, or have you heard anything about that? I'm curious about how that's going to impact all of this area. But I mean, definitely for anyone who's listening, if you don't have a will, reach out to me. There is some very affordable legal platforms that I can share with you, so that way you can get a will done, especially if you have digital assets. You need to have your family know about them.
Absolutely.
You need to know how to access those digital assets, because if something was to happen to you medically or otherwise, and they don't know how to access it. And that's one of the reasons why I created this best 5-minute crypto wallet organizer for my daughter, who's 27 and definitely capable. But, again, it's the idea that some of our wallets are through our phone, some of them through the computer, and it's not easy to navigate. But Michael, I'm going to hop back over to you for the AI side. Have you heard anything in terms of how that's being incorporated now?
Well, yes, I've heard a lot of movement in the legal industry. One major piece of news before Christmas and pre-New Year was Allen and Overy, a Magic Circle law firm and one of the major global players, has actually developed their own AI solution for contract drafting purposes. And I would be surprised if they didn't, have that as a develop cross-functional capabilities to cover will drafting and reviewing claims and so on and so forth. What else was there?
That brings up a few different issues that, to my mind, the idea of privacy. If you're putting a will into AI and you're actually putting someone's name or their assets in, or you're trying to kind of craft all the various things that go into a will or a trust, I'm just wondering, how do you protect the privacy? If you're using an AI tool, what do you think, Michael?
Well, it depends on how the data and data governance requirements. So under the EUA Act, there's very robust controls regarding how you control, manage, monitor, and use data. So there are crossovers to the GDPR. I think the method of access is interesting here. So whether it's a cloud-based solution or it's hosted in your own native environment, how the data retention policies there will obviously differ, and who trains the model, who accesses it, what data you put into it. So there's a lot of considerations here. And I think similar to the onset of blockchain, which I know, JC, you were fundamental to, the same, actually we called them infrastructural infrastructural components of the industry are being established as we speak. So the very conversations we're having today are probably going to have long-lasting effects in the future. And I would urge anyone interested in this space to get involved as soon as they can, really.
Yeah, I think education is always critical. Continuing education is critical, especially because there's so many changes that are happening right now. Patrina, any thoughts about, the use of wills within the clients that you're working on and how they're kind of integrating that too?
So thinking about it from the fundraising perspective, one of the things that nonprofits can always do is ask for individuals to give or leave a gift to them, a bequest. And so having that conversation not only with your current donors, but also partnering with other organizations like attorneys to have them help you, direct clients and connect clients to your nonprofit. It's a great way to do it. And then you add in the blockchain component of it. I'm just thrilled as to what can happen and what can come out of that space in the next year or two.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. But again, for anyone who is still doesn't have a will,
Absolutely.
The basic paper and pen
Yeah.
can still happen even before we put it on blockchain, before we use AI or any of these
Yeah.
innovative tools. But I think that, you know, again, these are things that are very important, and we're going to have more in-depth conversation and workshops involved with
Mhm.
how to organize your digital assets. And this is something that I think is really, really important for attorneys too. And
Absolutely.
I haven't uploaded it to Amazon yet, but I have
Mhm.
created a digital asset organizer for attorneys to be able to use in asking their clients, you know, specific questions that will help with both family law situations as well as in bankruptcy and things like that. I see we're at the 15-minute mark. So any last
Oh,
minute
it goes
thoughts?
so fast.
I know it does really, and we'll be back next Friday. But Patrina or Michael, any last minute thoughts before we log out?
So I find it interesting that in Texas we call a handwritten will a holographic will.
Oh,
Um, I'm gonna say they're already forward thinking.
Michael, any last minute thoughts from your side in the EU?
I would say obviously start as early as possible and catalog your assets and know what you're doing. But I would say if you're going to use AI, possibly create a digital twin or some form of
Mm,
digital equivalent that you can relay your, at least for your own sake, relay and store your own information to. So if something was to happen to you, there would be maybe even a holographic representation of you that could be used to disperse, like where people do, they record messages of themselves, and if you were to train your own AI
mhm.
model, I think that could maybe this is a bit of a future gazing or Friday night silly time, but I think that's quite interesting.
No, I think it's really important that we all own our own information.
Absolutely.
And if you have it in a different location, you always have to have a downloadable printed type of
Mhm.
copy, because access sometimes gets disconnected, lost, or no, I'm not even talking about the hacking side, but
Mhm.
or corrupted. And so that that means that if you don't have the copy of what it is that you have created, you
Mhm.
have to recreate everything. So I'm really glad you hopped on, Michael. I know we're gonna have other
Yeah.
conversations. Katrina, as always, it's great to see you. Everyone who's here, thank you so much. Be sure to like and subscribe to all of the channels that BLI is doing, both on Twitter and LinkedIn. And definitely join, become a member, because we are doing some great things and we want you on this journey, including the November cruise that's coming in, which is a play on the CBDC. It's the Crypto Blockchain DeFi Conversation Cruise, which is going to be out of Fort Lauderdale, November 16th. So definitely more information will be coming. Anyway, everyone, have a great night and we'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.